Hey folks, welcome back. I'm Aaron, and this is our sixth episode of our Stellar Sovereigns Let's Play. In our last episode, we had just established a new colony on Virgo 3, met the first league, which is the first of the AI empires that we've met, and in the process decided to go ahead and take out the fleet that they had sent over because it might have caused problems that looked weak enough that we could take it on. The hope in doing that was that it would take some of the fear level down and envy level down, but it looks like they've gone and now condemned us. So I'm going to withdraw that because I don't want us to get pushed further back down here towards war declaration, especially if they're that much more advanced than we are. So I think that the other thing we had gotten was the Apollo here, which is one of our first derelict vessels. It's badly damaged, so it's going to take a while before we actually get that into some sort of workable shape. I'm going to go ahead and delete this derelict since we've already gotten that particular item, so we don't really need to be there anymore. In the meantime, our Quarry Fleet is going to start to investigate the debris here and kind of see if we can get anything useful out of that. I think where we're going to go next is we're going to try to get our first fleet upgraded, so that we'll be ready for any pirates that we end up facing, and then start to build up these two colonies a bit more. We already have in our local reserve these two frigates, which will be foundational for us to build up our next fleet. We want this to be more of a standoff fleet with with the torpedoes, and I think laser batteries is what we're going to go with because they're more generalist. I'll do good versus fallen shields, and they won't actually be able to be shot down or intercepted like the plasma blaster can. Particle beam is nice. It has a potential of 40 damage, but it uses 12 power. It's also a bit longer range. The laser batteries use 7 power and have a potential of 30 damage. And they're slightly less range, but definitely use a little bit less power. So they're also cheaper for us to install, and right now we don't have a lot of resource production, so it's probably best that we do something like the laser batteries. So I'll go ahead and add that. And add that. That gets us going. The second thing here, I think we need to get our capital ship up and running. We don't have enough funds for that quite yet, especially with some of the upgrades we're planning on doing. But we do have a lot of extra Durentium ore. Because we have that extra, we can come here to the exchange. And as you can see, we've got all of the major resources, and you can kind of see the overtime costs for them. Since we've got a lot of extra, I'm going to go ahead and hold down Control, which lets me change this to increments of 1,000. And I'm going to go ahead and sell. Looks like we can get 220,000 credits for each 1,000 units of Durentium, which will help us build up our funds pretty quick since we don't really need the 138,000 that we have right now. So let's go ahead and take that down to about 100,000 left. That'll give us plenty. That boosts us to 15 million credits, and I'm going to go ahead and sell some of this crystal as well. Selling 100 of that will get us another 200,000, so we don't need the 113 that we've got at the moment, or the 213. So with that, now we can go in here and we can pick our next capital vessel. We're looking at doing, I think, a dreadnought because of this plasma beam that does a lot of damage versus shields. which will help for kind of that long-range attack that we need. This ship has some good weapons as well, with the laser batteries and a lot of the autocannons and interceptors. So it's a decent ship for us, but and it's also got not quite as good of armor as our cruiser, but similar amounts of structures to it. So let's go ahead and it's like I'm still gonna have to purchase some stuff, but let's select that and get it going, and then I'm gonna go ahead and add the these two frigates from our local reserve to that fleet, which will give us a second fleet here. And then when the first fleet arrives, I'll start doing some upgrades to get the AI targeting available on that. Another thing we want to start thinking about is that if we run into another empire or two that has an ideology that is significantly different than ours, like the First League, where that minus 0.5 is going to impact how they treat us considerably. So we want to think about potentially moving our own ideology from liberal capitalist towards more of the federal socialist side of things. And that's one of the things I find really interesting about this game, is that by doing that, by the type of empires you run into may influence a little bit more about how you develop your empire until you get to a point that you're strong enough to be able to survive regardless of what they've got set up. So I think we're also going to need a little bit more political capital going forward to kind of prevent some of the loss that we're going to be having in our relations with the First League. So I'm going to go ahead and upgrade the political forum to level 2 here at our homeworld. That will give us a little bit more, another 0.25, so we should be getting about 0.75 per turn, which will make it a little easier for us to use that capital for things to like the boosts or the edicts on our colonies and other things. I'm also going to go in here and upgrade the colony on Virgo to get increased housing so that I'll be able to transfer more colonists in. I think we're also going to want to increase our food, and I really don't care too much about the research. We got 4,000 or 2,000 development from one of the things that we found when we were surveying the planet, but that's going to equal out to about 18,000 jobs, which is a lot of jobs that could be better used for our industry. So I'm going to go ahead and shift that so that our ordering now is first to agriculture, second to industry, and then third to R&D, because we don't really have any bonus for R&D, so it doesn't make a lot of sense for us to pump a lot of colonists into that yet. It'll be more useful for us to extract the compute crystal, I think. Or carbon laserite. So with that, I think, yeah, we can go ahead. We have enough food and housing to go ahead and bring more people over here. And let's check and see. Looks like we're still doing good on our trade route. We'll want to start creating a second trade route down here to Virgo, and then we'll take Virgo probably to Koi when we colonize Koi, and then Koi back to Xanthu, and that'll give us a nice circular trade route for us here. Okay, let's continue forward. Doesn't look like we got anything out of that, so that's unfortunate. We do have a lot of signatures. Okay, we've got two unknown signatures coming in here. I'm going to guess that's going to be a pirate fleets, since they're heading straight for our trade route here. Because of that, I'm going to go ahead and pull our transports off. We're not quite ready to be able to take that fleet on, and I don't think we can get to them in time. It's going to hurt the development here, growth of Ilonius 1 as we pull the food and the consumables that we were importing out of there, which is hurting our approval rate. So we're going to do cultural enterprises here, give it one boost. That way it's pulling less colonists out of it. And we can go ahead and, put in new colonists from our pioneers to make up for that loss. So we'll still continue to grow this colony. Okay. Anything else? No? Okay, let's see what this brings us next turn. Okay, so those are indeed pirate fleets. Let's see what we're going to be dealing with here. Okay, this guy is a missile cruiser like our own. A frigate with torpedoes and a corvette. So that will be, and then looks like we're dealing with a fairly standard gunnery cruiser there, or capital ship for the second fleet, and similar secondary ships there. So that's going to be a bit hard for us to take on in the near term. So let's go ahead and start getting upgrades done for our ships here. Want to go ahead and get that onboard AI for our frigates. And we'll also want to get the onboard AI for the Aphrodite. We already have the armor. I'm not going to do any more upgrades to that one. I think it's been performing pretty good. I guess no, I should probably add the fusion core to boost our ability to use the weapons we've got here, because there's some pretty solid weaponry here with the it's like four plasma blasters, 2 particle beams, and 2 laser cannons. But when I'm doing this and buying these resources, if I don't have enough and there's a red number there, I can hold down the Alt key, which will allow me to purchase the additional resources directly from the market without having to go over here first, buy it, and then come back. Okay. So that's pretty good. This is coming along. It'll be a bit before we're able to really make use of this. So let's continue on. So by moving our transports off of the trade route, since we know we can't really manage to take out those pirate fleets yet, moving our transports off means they can't get intercepted, which means we can't lose them. And especially since we had gotten a couple of nice transports with these 2 precursor transports, a heavy transport and a light transport. We don't really want to lose those, so it's more in our interest to pull them off for now. Okay, I'm going to send more colonists to Virgo. Looks like we've investigated the debris, didn't really find anything. That's unfortunate. Let's go ahead and check and see out what these planets have down here on Rho. Okay, so the Virgo system stage 2, we got nutritious crop. That's going to be very helpful for Virgo 3. We definitely want to kind of push this towards a more breadbasket planet to support the weight of some of the other colonies around here. So that means that we're going to be doing minimal, as little industry as we can, so that we can boost the agricultural sector, and also by building improvements that will help boost that more quickly. But we need to keep the development of the industrial sector up so that there's enough construction capacity to be able to build what we need to expand the colony. If we don't have enough, this bar will max out, and then we'll be stuck putting most of our resources into stuff like building housing, because we might have more colonists generated, or more population generated each turn than we can support, and we don't want to like use this as a place to generate pioneers at the moment. So it looks like we're doing good there. I'm going to go ahead and shift some more stuff into avid builders, and I think adding some into born starfarers. Master shipwrights, I think will be good. I don't have enough of that. Anything else? Nah, we'll leave it at that for now. By doing that, we do start shifting our tax revenue. By moving down here, you can see that our tax revenue, our tax tolerance decreases, our tax revenue increases. So that means our population doesn't like taxes as much, and they will, who does, but it will start pushing us back towards the poor approval, which will eventually cause riots and other issues on our planet. So we want to be careful with that, especially since the tax bonus that we can get might get us to a position where the tax income we can set here is less than what we'd be getting. So we would have to increase taxes to make up for the loss in income, but in doing so reduces our approval, which then causes more problems for us. And we've got a cache of 20,000 of the Durantium ore, so let's go ahead and shift over to the second planet in the Rho system, see what we can get out of that. And we'll click on our shipyard. Okay, we've got probably one more turn for that, and then a few turns to get everybody else upgraded. So we'll go advance. Looks like we got a 100 carbon laserite. That's useful. And we have our capital here, which is going to be helpful as well. Let's check and see how we're doing. We're almost done with disruptor torpedoes. So I may go ahead and see if I can get those added to our frigates for our second fleet, because those torpedoes will help us disable some of the pirate ships, which would be problematic otherwise. Okay. We'll add some more colonists over here to make up for the drop that we've got going on. So And this has been a really difficult start, given the planets that we've had available and where we've had, because you can see here with with Virgo 3, it has far fewer population, but it's still able to um, pay for itself a little bit better. We do have some additional upkeep here because this is a more developed colony in Alonius, but we just recently were able to get it to a place where it was profitable. So having Virgo being able to grow quicker and be able to, I think, support a lot more population is going to overall create a lot more income for us in the future. Okay, we got another point. So where are we at with our politics? So let's start putting points into avid builders. What do we want to do? Let's go ahead. So we have less tax income. Yeah, let's go ahead and switch our government to socialism. That should help us with how we're treated by our the first league here. They should see us. So they see us as plus 0.5 is their federal socialist, and we are also now a federal socialist. That will help us, I think, start to build better relations with them. And they're already starting to fear us a little bit now that we've got a bit more of a navy and we're fearing them a lot less. So I think that'll be good for us. Okay. Now that that's built, let's go ahead and advance so we can get our ships upgraded, and then see if we can take out the pirate fleets here. Okay. So whenever we change governments, the AI tends to respond and will either condemn us or they will praise us for changing governments. And since we have moved to a government that is more similar to theirs, they're going to be happy. So they're praising us, and that will help us start to move our relations bar more over to here. Once we get it into friendly, we won't actually automatically attack each other when our fleets meet on different systems. So that's kind of where our goal is, because we don't really want to have everybody at war with us. We can get hit with some pretty powerful fleets, and we're definitely not in a position where our defenses are strong enough to be able to withstand some of that. Okay. That's going along. It's going to take a few more turns, but we're getting there. The first fleet. Let's see. Okay, good. Void Core. We're going to rename that to Second Fleet. Let's call it the Second Artillery Fleet, just so we know that it's kind of a more standoff type fleet. We'll definitely want to get the onboard AI, and we're going to have to, I think, see if we can... No, we don't have enough money to do that, so let's go ahead and see if we can sell some stuff. Since we got a tranche there of this, we're going to sell a couple hundred, and we're going to sell another couple thousand of that, which should get us to a point where we can go ahead and upgrade and buy that. Ooh, that was expensive. Okay. Cool. Important to have the onboard AI to help with some of the stuff we're doing here. Okay, let's see. Nothing else was found there, so let's go back to row 1 and see what we find. Oh, they've given us a gift. 3 million credits. Let's go ahead and respond. So now we're starting to see our our status move a little bit more this way. There's a lot less envy, or there's starting to be a lot less fear on their part. They're on our part, so I think we're going to be a little bit more balanced now. That's good. Okay, and we've researched our disruptor torpedoes. What should we do next? Let's see. So our population growth is 0.3. Okay, I think, yeah. Let's go ahead and boost some of our weapons a little bit more here. I think it'll be useful for us to get an increased yield on our missiles, so that they'll do a little bit more damage. And we are not doing good on budget, so let's do that. Okay, I'm still negative. Okay, that should put us positive there. Move some more colonists over this way. Okay. It's probably going to be a bit before we can get these disruptor torpedoes in place on here. They are a little bit pricey, so at least we can have it set up so that it's ready for us. Okay, they're giving us another gift. Well, thank you very much. We will definitely take that. Our retrofits are coming along pretty good. Let's go ahead and queue the disruptor torpedo, and we'll queue the disruptor torpedo on the siren, and then see if I can. Let's see. You need some armor, which I can do. Armor is cheap, but it will help us. These frigates definitely need to get the AI modules. And one of the downsides about them is they've only got 2 module slots, which makes them a little challenging to decide exactly what you need. In this case, I think we'll want to do a fusion core on there as well, because we need the added power to help with the laser batteries, though we may not need them as much because hopefully they'll be out of combat more than the capital ships are. Okay. Let's just keep going. Okay, I'm going to do a cultural enterprise here on Xanthu Prime. That should help boost our income considerably for the next little bit, because by doing the shifts that we've done to our politics and moving to something as socialism here, we've reduced the civilian wages, which means we're not making as much money. We can make up for that by increasing taxes, but in doing so, that's going to reduce the approval. And that in the end will probably put us in a worse spot if we're not careful. We have finished our planetary survey, so let's, again, nothing there. That's unfortunate. Let's check out this ship. See what we got here. That looks interesting. Might be another transport for us. We should be pretty close to being able to do the second disruptor torpedo this turn. Let's go ahead and do that. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to do the other modules. They're costing a considerable amount of crystal that I don't really have the funds to pay for it this much. But we did catch a little bit of money from this wreck here, so that's helpful. And it looks like we can move some of our colonists over here. So we've got 16,000, so I can move everybody here. This will help us okay, I think I've got too much coming in on the food side of things. We're very low in pretty much all of the categories, and food is not at 100% either, so yeah, let's do that. Okay. They really like us now, so I'm gonna go ahead and continue that, and looks like we are now almost at the threshold, so that we're more into suspicious versus unfriendly. When we get high enough, we'll be able to set up a trade agreement. And a trade agreement will be helpful because that will help us bring in some good income between the different empires and also improve our relations. Okay. I think that's about it. So let's go ahead and end this episode here. I think we might be right about time. But we'll pick up here on the next episode and send our fleets in to take out these pirates. Also, let's check down here real quick. Yeah, we're almost out of minerals. Basically, when you come to a new system, the first group to come and start mining gets more of the specialty minerals and resources, but then after a while it reduces and you start getting mostly structural composite. So it's not really giving us too much of anything here, and we're about 50% depletion. So we'll just kind of see what happens. We'll keep this Quarry Flotilla around until we finish examining the wreck, and once we've done that, we'll probably send these guys back over to Koei and complete some more of our surveys there. So once again, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.